Okay then my friends, so far we've been sending prompts directly from the browser on this personalities page to test out those different personas and responses. However, now I want to turn our attention back to the create page where we actually create new journal entries, and I want to slip Firebase AI into this flow as well. So to do this, we could work the same way, right? In that we submit a prompt to the AI model when a user submits the form. It sends the updated text back, then we take that and we store it in Firestore as an entry along with some other information, so that later on the entries page we can see all those journal entries and the glorified text within them. However, this means there's a bit more back and forth between the browser and the client, because first we'd have to send a prompt to the AI model, then we get a response text back, then we send another request to the Firebase backend to save the document in the Firestore database, then we get another response to say everything was saved correctly. 2 round trips in all. So I want to take this opportunity to show you another way that we can implement this flow using a Firebase extension. And that Firebase extension is going to save us a return trip from the browser to the backend and back again. So currently, when we submit an entry on this form, we save that entry in its original state with the original text inside a Firestore collection called entries. And I'll show you that. I'm just going to enter in a title, like got some coffee, doesn't really matter. And then I'm just going to paste in a little snippet of text down here as well. And then finally, I'll select a personality like the wizard one. Now, before I hit save, let me just show you the database now. It's only got one document stored in the entries collection, which is the one I made earlier. And if I head back and submit this form, then hopefully when we come back to the Firestore database, we should see that that new document is added. If you don't see it, then you can try refreshing the page. Normally that shows you the new document. Anyway, inside this document, we've got the original text property and the personality we selected, as well as a few other properties like the title, the user ID, and so on. And we've also got this other property called glorified, which we set to be an empty string when we first save the document. So this is ultimately where I want to store the AI generated glorified text for the entry based on the original text and the personality. Now, the way we're going to do this is by installing a Firebase extension on the backend, and that extension is going to be configured to listen for new documents being added to this entries collection. When that happens, it's going to trigger the extension to send a prompt to a Gemini model using the original text and personality as a part of that prompt, much like we did from the browser, right? And then when we get a response back, the response text is going to populate the glorified property in the document automatically. So when that happens, our application on the front end gets notified because we've got a real-time subscription set up to the collection, which listens for any document changes, like the glorified property being updated, for example. And when that happens, we get a snapshot of those changes and update the state in our templates to show that new text. So I think this whole flow is a bit more seamless. Okay then, so how do we install this extension on the back end? Well, it's pretty simple. We just need to go to the hosting and serverless option in the menu over here, and then from there we want to select extensions. Now on the next page, you want to look for an extension called Multimodal Tasks with the Gemini API. For me, it's just on this page right here, but if you don't see it, you can click on the Explore button down here and you can try and find it. I think there's a search page for it. Then you just want to click on the Install button to go to the setup page for it. And to add extensions like this to Firebase, you do need to have a pay-as-you-go Blaze plan, which actually comes with some generous free limits. But it does mean you'll have to set up a Google billing account for it to work. So all the stuff we've done so far, where we're just sending a prompt from the browser to the AI model and then get a response, we've not needed to do that, I don't think. But for a extension like this, we have to have a Blaze plan. Okay, so it does mean you have to have that billing account for this to work. So what I'm going to do is click on this upgrade button right here to update my project from a Spark plan to a Blaze plan, which is pay as you go. And when I do that, I get the option to link my billing account to this project. If you don't have a billing account, you can make one by clicking this button right here. And again, just because we're using a billing account, it doesn't mean we're going to get charged, because for development and small apps, most things are free. You can see all of the pricing details and limits by clicking on this button right here. Anyway, I've already created a billing account, so I'm going to link it by selecting it. Once I've done that, I'll need to confirm it by clicking on this button. And then finally, I can click on Done to finish. Okay, so now we can carry on with the extension setup, and the next step is to enable a few Firebase services that the extension needs, like Cloud Functions, Cloud Storage, the Secret Manager, and so on. So you can enable all of these by clicking on the little enable links next to each one, and sometimes it's going to ask you for a location, which I'll keep as the default ones, and I'll start these services in test mode for now. And by the way, you should always lock down your services with Firebase rules when you do go to production. That's beyond the scope of this series, but I will cover it in another one at some point. Also, sometimes I do get an error when I'm trying to enable the storage service from here. And so when that happens, I go back to my project dashboard, I select storage from the menu on the left, and then I just enable it manually. Then I come back here and carry on. Anyway, I'm going to stop recording just while I enable all these services. And again, I'll stick to all the default values. And when I'm done, I'll come back and start recording again. Alright, so I've done all that now, and I can click on next so that we can review exactly what we're giving the extension access to, which are these things right here, and we can click on next to continue. And now this is where we actually configure how the extension should work for this project. So first up, we can choose a provider and a model. I'm going to change the first one to the Vertex AI option, because that way we don't need an API key down here somewhere, but I'll keep the model at its default. Next, if we scroll down a little, we can see this field for a Firestore collection path. So this is the collection we want the extension to respond to when a document gets added. And our collection is called entries, so we'll add that in right here. Next is the prompt itself, which I'm just going to paste in. And notice in this prompt, I access document fields using double curly braces, and then the name of the field. So for example, when a new entry document gets added, the extension will automatically respond to that by sending this prompt to the Gemini model. And that prompt extracts the personality field value from that document. So the prompt itself says, you are a personality, rewrite the following text to match your persona. And then I output the original field as well, which is the original text a user types into the form. So we're asking the model to take that text and rewrite it using whatever personality the user selected, much like we did before. Now, next up, we're going to scroll down to the response field, and the response field is a field in the document where the generated text response from the model should be stored. In our case, I want that to be stored in the glorified text field. So we'll just type in glorified. Next, I'm going to choose the US East option for the function location. And then I'm going to keep everything else the same default values. So I can scroll right to the bottom now and just hit the install button to install this extension. That's going to take about 5 minutes, so I'm going to stop recording here. I'm going to put my feet up for a bit, and then I'm going to come back when it's done. Okay, so that's installed now, and everything should be ready to go. So once more, the process is going to be that the user fills in the form to add a new entry. That document gets saved to Firestore in the entries collection. At the same time, the user gets redirected to the entries page on the app, right? Now, when that new document gets added to the entries collection, it triggers the extension we just installed and configured to send a prompt to a Gemini model asking it to take the personality and original text of that new document and rewrite it. When we get that text response back from the model, it automatically updates the glorified property in the document in Firestore. On the front-end app, because we have a real-time listener set up for document changes, we get a snapshot of the changes back along with the updated text, and we render that glorified property in the template so that we can see it on the screen. So that's the process. Now let's try it out and hope it works. All right then, so let's go to write a new journal entry. We'll give this a headline of work, and then we'll say I made some Firebase AI Logic tutorials, and then down here we'll just put web dev for tags. We don't really need tags. I don't know why I added that on, to be honest, but anyway, we'll choose a personality, profane pirates, and then let's glorify the entry and see what happens. All right, so we can see it's glorifying at the minute, right? So this is a placeholder. Hopefully after a few moments we should see a different text, the response text, or rather the text that's stored in Firestore. And we can see that as soon as it updates in Firestore, because we have a real-time listener set up, we get that update down here, and we can see the updated text right here. Awesome. And also the original, because we stored it in Firestore as well, we're still showing that down here. And just one more thing before we finish, I mentioned earlier in the course something called App Check, which locks down access to your backend services to a single domain. And that is something you should definitely be enabling, especially when using AI features like this when you deploy your apps to production. So I will make a video about that hopefully in the future. Anyway, my friends, that's pretty much it for this series. I hope it's been useful and that now you feel confident using Firebase AI features in your own applications. Incidentally, if you like the Firebase content I've been releasing and you'd like a more in-depth, long masterclass about this and the different services, maybe to make a full application, then definitely let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. And just one more thing before I leave, I wanted to let you know you can access my entire library of nearly 200 courses at NetNinja.dev, and included in that library are a load of longer masterclass courses and other pro-exclusive tutorials not found anywhere else, and I'm frequently adding to them as well. So you can access them all by signing up for a NetNinja Pro membership, which is just $9 a month, and you get your first month half price using this promo code right here. Also, by signing up to the site, you'll get access to the community boards, which has support for all the NetNinja courses too. So I'll leave a link to the sign up page down below the video and hopefully I'll see you all there.